Hey guys, what's going on? Of course, Bam and my man Charles here. Coming in hot from Riptide, and hell of a good tournament, man. I wish I was there with my boy Charles. Having a good time
Yeah.
on the scene, man. It looks like you had a good time casting and everything. But what a hell of a tournament, man! Like it's absolutely ridiculous, So some of you I know didn't get a chance to watch everything, so we're gonna recap this thing and
The
tell you about
recap.
what happened, man. First big offline major that we've
Open
had
bracket.
in like a year and a half. Yeah, open bracket, man. It's pretty crazy, man. What were your initial thoughts on it, just going into it?
My initial thoughts going into it, I actually tweeted this out too. Just I wonder how much Summit competitors are going to get into top eight. So it was actually quite a lot. I was predicting about like three, maybe four, but actually five players that competed in Summit were here. So really like goes to show that a lot of the players that were at Summit, proved themselves here at this event. Open bracket, completely different story. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
obviously, there's a crowd. You have to go and play a bunch of different matchups. You have to get
Yep.
into that like top 64, top 24 bracket. You got to like earn it, right? So that was really cool to see all the different players, and obviously like so many North America talent was there. So that was super sick to see. And yeah, before we get like really into the recap, obviously if you guys like the content, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Ring that bell too. And yeah, let's get into it. So I guess we can first start off with Leo winning
Yeah.
and reversing reverse 3-0ing Tweak. Something that we've seen before, not at Summit. Summit Tweak got the two really clean 3-0s, but this time Leo doing it with Byleth too. No Aegis. So
Yeah, man.
I actually think that matchup's really good for Diddy. Diddy has a lot of mobility and outranges with Banana, but Leo played it very patient, and he worked around the mobility so well. Byleth Nair looks like a ridiculous move, and I mean, Leo was just parrying everything too, man. Leo played phenomenal throughout the whole event, so I mean, definitely earned, man. He really like kind of showed everyone what the character, what Byleth can do.
No, absolutely, man. I mean, the thing is, like that character fits Leo's playstyle. It really, really does. It's the character that's been the most practiced, right, since he kind of went into quarantine, right? That was his character of choice. And I think even though we saw at Summit, he really had like a character crisis. He felt like he needed to switch back and forth. It seems like this time he's like, no, I've been playing this character. I'm going to stick to my guns. And he was able to make it work, man. I mean, the character has some very strong, like, strong skills like off the bat, like just like the range, the kill power versus the range. Like you said, the nair is incredible, especially if you know like not only the short hop like combos, from just like or the fast falls for the pressure, or if you got the full hop or you got the IDJ freaking nair combos too. It becomes very different, man. He was doing like full hop nairs into double jump up B to like bear or side B and all these kind of things, and it was definitely a different ball game there. So yeah, it's insane to see him play to that level. He's really good at striking where you're going to be, and Byleth just gives him such a great reward off that, in tandem with being able to be safe off the ledge, which I've noticed a lot of the top players have been focusing on. How can you get good reversals from the ledge? And Byleth has a lot of stuff there, man.
Yeah, Leo will kind of stall at the edge with up B, double jump up airs, and it's pretty hard to kind of punish tethers on the regrab. Like, obviously, it's still punishable, but there's timing mix-ups and stuff. Obviously, Tweak getting second as well. Just pretty much playing mostly Diddy. I mean, pretty much all Diddy except for like one game he tried the Sephiroth against Leo and it didn't work out too well. So, Tweak's still coming out here with the Diddy, doing a fantastic job. And Spargo getting third. He actually got upsetted very early in the bracket, or not very early, but like in bracket after pools. He lost to Wadi's Mewtwo. So that was very interesting, and Spargo just shredded through losers bracket all the way to top 3. So we see kind of like a consistency thing here. Leo, Tweak, Spargo, Tweak, Leo, Spargo for Summit, right? So same top 3, just a little bit of shuffling. So that's super interesting to see. Spargo's been killing it, man.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, Spargo's just so talented. I love that we did see the Cloud come out to play as well.
A lot of Cloud.
Yeah, a lot of Cloud, you know. So again, I think there's a lot of people still thinking about how like Aegis is and how strong the character is, and obviously Aegis is strong. You know, people are looking at top 3, top 5 character, whatever it may be. But the Cloud, you know, coming out on top. I mean, that character has been a cornerstone for a couple players, right? And so it's great to see that Spargo was able to make that Cloud work, able to close out a lot of sets due to that character. And just to have that kind of patience, man, to make it through a long bracket, especially being a young blood, man, being able to do that, like, and have your be composed. A lot of times that's what happens, right? You have the young bloods and they get there and they're getting their wins, and then they kind of teeter out, right? And then, or they get too hyped, right? Then they start overextending and, you know, they lose it out, right? Yeah, they get too hyped, man. They get, you know, they got that, the youth is just coursing through their veins, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But Spargo just so ever composed, man. Just stellar player, incredible talent, and yeah, I'm really excited to see what he's going to be able to do in the future, man. Already, you know, locking in that third spot, you know, that's pretty damn good.
Yeah, and I mean, speaking of just young talent, I know Elegant's not super young, but I mean, still just coming out with the Luigi Elegant 4th place. Fantastic job. There's so many crazy sets with Elegant. He's really, and he's always been that Luigi that really optimizes stuff. But one thing I really want to say that I was impressed with Elegant's play this weekend was he didn't really need the 0 to deaths. He could like get some pretty good strings and just play out like Luigi neutral, you know what I mean? Knowing exactly when and where to down B. He played fantastic the entire weekend. Shout out to Elegant. Yeah. Man. Let's go Soko.
No, that's free, man. Like absolutely. Like this really strong play all around, like you said. He didn't have to focus on the 0 to death. Obviously, if he's able to get that, then that's a stock. But yeah, it's a true testament to a strong character specialist when you know your combos outside of the percentage windows, when people are jumping around. How are you navigating that, right? How are you continuing to put on that damage? And he was able to do that, you know, day in and day out. You know, a lot of great well-choiced cyclones. You know, catching people out of their double jumps there. You know, getting the up air bears when he needed those. Great stuff. He was very strong when it came to edge guarding too. Like he was consistently going off stage and getting people. So yeah, he was making stuff happen, man. Yeah, man. So it, you know, all in all, really good stuff by Elegant. Of course, Goblin being real strong. You know, losing to Meister, only to Meister, and then Elegant, of course, who we just talked about. But one of the things that was kind of really interesting to me, of course, talking about that placing is also Cola, right? Cola was ended up being in 65th, I believe.
Right.
And it's interesting because Cola, you know, had a strong showing at Summit, but, you know, kind of just didn't make it through the open bracket. And just to your point at the beginning of the video, you know, like, hey, like this is what, there's a great difference between being at an invitational and being in an open bracket, right? A huge open bracket at that. Yep. And I think that Cola is very fast-paced, very intelligent player. But I think that he doesn't usually slow it down. Like a lot of times he's like, I'm going to be in your face and I'm going to rely on my hard reads on you because I understand how people play and go from there. And I think that play style is harder to sustain going through a long bracket. I think that's one of the reasons why Cloud was really good for him as a player, actually, because Cloud is a character that has a more solid game plan where he's like, you know, fading back and doing airs and kind of waiting and a more safer playstyle and not as reckless as with his Roy. Whereas I think Goblin, he plays a lot more reserved. And, you know, I think you could really tell, you go into that game seeing him versus the Buzz, man, the patience on his Roy, like, it's like, you put him, you know, and then you look at how Cola plays it and it's like two different things. It's completely different. Man, he was sitting back, jumps, short hops, full hops, short hops, full hops, you know, using the platforms, come down, wait, you know, finally goes to swing down tilt. What are you going to do? What are you moving from there? So I really like that from Goblin's play. I think that his general play style to kind of slow the pace down and play a bit more solid mid-range is very strong for him, especially it's strong Roy play style to move through a long open bracket. Of course, Meister, we have, you know, going ahead and, you know, losing the T1 MKLAL. I mean, that is his demon for sure. I mean, it is rough. I think he's 13-1 right now. I think with Leo, like
It's hard, man.
Yeah, it's hard, man, and he just knows. He just knows him so well. These guys play all the time too, so it's hard for him to even be away to kind of make some new tricks and combat him, right? And then of course, then losing to Spargo, right? Someone else that while they don't live close, Spargo's in Tijuana, right?
Right.
But nonetheless, when these guys travel together, they do tend to play and get some time. So these guys, 1-3, not bad at all. Good stuff by Meister being consistent. Louis Money, man, making it in. The money, the boy, the Fox, the Palu. Yeah, I know you got hype about the Fox. Tell me how hype you were, bro.
He brought out the Fox against a R.O.B player, the one that upsetted Mars. Amanetha. I don't know exactly how to pronounce the name, but we got to see that, and then he also used it against Spargo in top 8, and that was a really crazy set. He actually should have gone up 2-0, but he missed the tech on game 2. That was a heartbreaker, but
that was hard.
Yeah, but regardless, it was a great set. Cloud versus Fox, really fun to watch, very fast paced. And it was mostly Palu, but we did get to see the Fox here and there. Luis was originally a Fox main, has switched over to the Palutena, has been working wonders, and this is a huge top 8 for him. So, shout outs to Luis. He played fantastic this weekend.
Yeah, I believe the last time this happened was
SmashCon
2019 SmashCon, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. So yeah, good stuff for him. DeBuzz, being able to go and make it in 7th place, no stranger to a top 8. One of the most consistent players that we have. Even despite this character crisis that he's been going through, ended up losing to Goblin. That was kind of a rough one. He ended up losing to Yanni came through.
That was a huge upset.
That was a huge upset because regardless of how the game has changed and everything, DeBuzz is one of the more consistent players. So when you're able to get an upset on DeBuzz, that speaks volumes. I don't care what you say, that speaks volumes to me. And Yanni really, man, going ham with Steve, man.
He got 9th.
He got 9th, man. He got 9th. And you know what, too? There was a lot of instances where Larry was saying it, I was saying it too, man. It's like Yanni has godlike first stocks. He's a godlike first stock. His second and third stocks are some of the worst. His third stock's one of the worst I've ever seen. It's almost like how Cosmos used to be when he was having a hard time kind of clutching out games and closing them out.
Right. He couldn't close, yeah.
Right, yeah. And right now, Yanni's really learning that, But, dude, overall as a player, he's incredible. And it's a lot of things are just he just needs to tighten it up, right? Just needs to button it up. A lot of his traps were incredible. Obviously, TNT stuff that he was doing on the platform, man, getting great stuff, being really consistent with his combos. And a lot of times he was hitting at least, getting the 54, 55% combos, if not getting extra damage on that, right? And then getting you into a situation where you are able, where he's able to get you into a ledge trap and then TNT and stuff like that. And it was ridiculous. There was one great one he got on Goblin where he had gone ahead and he had put down the double blocks, and he had put 2 blocks down where Goblin was forced to recover.
And it popped him up above the ledge.
Popped him up, yes, and he got him with the forward smash.
Oh,
so incredible, man. I just love to see that tech become real, right? This is off the Twitter page into real life,
into the bracket,
into the history books. You know what I'm saying? That's what I like to see. So yeah, great stuff by Yanni. Man, it was just crazy. We had a lot of people doing big things. The Robs came out to play.
I think
young Robert.
People forgot about Robert because there was no Roberts at Summit, so I think everyone forgot about this character. The most popular character within usually the top 48 bracket is usually R.O.B. R.O.Bs or Palus, right? But I think even now going into this meta, I think it's more R.O.Bs.
Yeah.
Mars got upsetted by R.O.B.
Yeah,
Mars got 33rd this tournament.
Man,
wild. That's his lowest placement since Smash 4. I think Vera made a tweet. Lowest placement since a Smash 4 tournament. This is his lowest ultimate placing by far.
Yes. So, the thing that's crazy is this is kind of what people were saying going into Summit. that they were kind of concerned on how Mars would do with kind of not playing as much into these things. He's able to make it happen, kind of come up to speed, and he was able to play at these top level. But I feel like you need to play at a different level, a different pace when it comes to higher level players, to mid-level players, to whatever, you know what I mean? And maybe that wasn't there. Maybe he didn't get that practice enough there, or maybe it could have just been an off day. And at the end of the day, it is one tournament. But I think it's interesting that even with him doing well at Summit, people still kind of had a question mark on how he would be, right? And some of these question marks will come from people that are in his area, man.
Right.
So in the New England area. So that's why to me I was like, man, we'll see. But yeah, man, R.O.B, crazy character, insane. Yeah, we need to stop the narrative about R.O.B being just too big and too heavy and he that like poor guy. Like
he's a frame 3 air dodge, bro. This dude does not have a frame 4 air dodge. I don't want to hear it.
Yeah, dude.
I do not want to hear it.
That character is ridiculous. This dude is boxing you with the assembly line down tilt. Freaking goated, like 0 to deaths, you name it, like easy coverage with side Bs. Like, oh, if I get you to the edge, if you fall low, I run off side B. If you double jump, I jump side B, and you could just die at 50, 60. And if I whiff it, then I'm not really in a bad position. Like, it's not that bad.
Yeah,
bro, that character's nuts. That character is absolutely insane. And I'm really glad that we got to see that kind of force come out because saw a couple people talking about it. Zan said it as well. Summit wasn't necessarily indicative of the totality of the meta of Ultimate because there's so many viable characters in this game. We had Miles, put in work, right? The Yoshi doing great stuff. He beat a couple solid people too. Like you said, the R.O.B's coming in, at play. Wadi, being able to take that game off Spargo with Mewtwo because Mewtwo also character got buffed during quarantine, and got some pretty noticeable buffs. Like, Falco, and the character itself, Mewtwo. Falco, Lombardi, Tilde doing stuff too. So there's a lot of these characters that have sauce, man. They got the juice. They can make things happen, and it was good to see some of these character specialists come out and make ruckus, and you could see that some of these people, it was just the shortcomings, like the players kind of they're new to it, new to being in that kind of environment. But there were a lot of close games with a lot of different characters, man. It was very varied. So, man, this tournament was amazing to watch, 100% for me.
Yeah, so much character diversity. Even for like question mark characters like Steve and things like that, we didn't even see too much Min. I think that's more so like maybe not enough of them came out. I mean, the Buzz did, kind of use Min. He was like rotating between 3 characters, but Jake, I believe, got 25th as well.
Yes.
Fatality placed pretty high. I don't know the exact numbers on that, but this a lot of different characters getting like pretty high up there, and like in terms of like top 32, your 33rds and stuff like that. I just very impressive. We're seeing a pretty diverse like meta in terms of like what characters are placing, and this is really mainly in the US as well. So
Young Link,
a lot of
Young Link, Ling actually went to that too.
Ling got 9th.
I believe Urace got 17th.
Yep.
We saw the Marios come out too. Kurama doing great. Fatality ended up getting 17th. Leon rather, Leon was able to do some crazy work too. Losing to Spargo.
He took out Mars and Losers. So
yeah, man, it's wow, dude. Even like Zenodo came up the bat. That was crazy.
The ditties are coming out, not just Tweak.
Yeah,
it's not just Tweak.
Yeah,
and I think that's the cool thing about Tweak also picking up the character. I think for other Diddy Kongs, it's helpful for them too, right? So I think kind of everyone just coming out, it was great to see all the Midwest talent, even like players like Zenodo placing well. I believe he also got 17th. So I mean, like this tournament was fantastic. We got to see so many diversity, so much of the meta really flash out, and even like there's even some consistency is in the top 8 too, right? I would like mainly bring up the I for sure think the top 3 players in North America, like all of North America, is definitely like Leo, Tweak, Spargo. You know, and they're so close to each other. I don't even know what like order to solidify it in. Obviously, you can put Spargo in the third spot and then shuffle Tweak and Leo around. But yeah, I mean, they're so close it doesn't really even matter. It's kind of just who's playing better that day kind of deal, right? But
Yeah.
I really am looking forward to, you know, more of these American tournaments or more just North American tournaments in general, and maybe some collision, you know what I mean, with NA talent, European talent, Japanese talent, right? There's so many great like Smash regions across the world. So can't wait for more tournaments. This narrative is super hype.
Yeah, man. I couldn't have said it better myself, man. Yeah, the narrative is just begun, man. This truly feels like a new game, or like, you know, when you get the new big patches, right, in games, like a new title, like Championship Edition or something. You know what I mean? Right. Like this is like post quarantine edition. You know, like, and it's sick, man. Like just looking at everybody, Ned putting in work with Sephiroth, right? You know, kind of the really the main Sephiroth out there. It's insane that, you know, you still see these younglings doing work. And it's like, even I forget who the name of the, was it Loaf, right? The Wario, right?
Yeah, Loaf was really
and
good.
Doing a lot of great stuff. And of course, we know overseas, Gluttony, like jamming it, getting up tilt wafts, the thing that apparently doesn't work, you know, like getting them consistently and just literally just destroying people, man. So it's so crazy because I always remember him going up against Nairo and, like, you know, the classic one that he got when you got the like soft hit in air into like like a strong hit to close out the stock, right? Like the 0 to death. Yeah, and absolutely incredible. And it's crazy because he's evolved off that. He's doing that now, and then bringing them to the platform, and then from the platform getting the up air into like waft, you know, or just getting it mixed up and then having where it's like you either got a double jump and either he reads your double jump and hits you on that platform and then you die, or you come down and then he just up tilts you and die. Like, it's insane. So just to know that character is still active, along with the, you know, all these other like characters who have this meta that just hasn't been developed. Dude, we got so much in store for us, man. So much from every region. Like, don't sleep on Mexico anymore, because that makes zero sense. You can't sleep on Europe because there are players out there, and Gluttony is definitely a top 10 player in the world. So I despise when people are confused by that. And you got some other hitters outside of Gluttony there for obvious reasons. Of course, you know, Mr. R, you know, and, you know, I study, etc. And of course, Japan, right? Such a powerhouse. So, dude, as we inch closer to like more events where you're gonna have international talent finally coming out of the woodworks, it's gonna be a bloodbath, bro.
It's gonna be crazy, yeah.
Nutty. Whew.
Yeah,
this is what I want to see.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that'll wrap up our Riptide recap. I hope you guys enjoyed the content, kind of giving our thoughts, also just giving the results, but also kind of giving our 2 cents with everything that goes along with it. If you guys like the content, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And you already know, class dismissed.
Peace.